Is this Honda HSS724A the best snowblower for homeowners? Hey guys and gals, welcome to Garage Gear. I'm JB. Just so we're clear here, this video is not sponsored. Hamburg Honda was kind enough to let me review this snowblower here in my garage. Let's see if this Honda can make winter regret showing up. Right off the bat, this two-stage Honda is assembled right here in the USA, and the specific model number on this unit is HSS724A 24 inches wide and moves 1,500 pounds of snow per minute. That means she's pumping out about 45 tons of snow per hour. And help give this video a pump with the YouTube algorithm, would you mind hitting that like button? Thank you very much. Here's the dimensions. She's 23.8 inches wide. I see we're doing some rounding up here, huh, Honda? But technically speaking, she's 24.8 inches wide, and that's probably because of these bolts sticking out here on the sides. 58.5 inches long and stands 43.5 inches high. And the dry weight of this unit is 231 pounds. The auger housing height is 21.7 inches high, and the depth here of the auger bucket is approximately 14.25 inches at its widest point. Inside is a high-speed steel 3-blade impeller with a diameter of 13 inches. And up here at the business end, 14-inch serrated steel augers that look a lot like saw blades. Great for busting up hard-packed snow and ice, and spinning these augers is a cast aluminum gearbox. This helps dissipate heat well and resist rust. At the bottom, on the back of the bucket, a set of heavy-duty reversible skids, and at the top, a roughly 26-inch tall chute when the deflector is at its peak, and the chute is roughly 5.5 inches wide at the bottom and approximately 5 inches wide at the top. She's also capable of launching snow up to 49 feet. 49 feet! That's basically snowball warfare territory. And the chute pivots 198 degrees, which means you can point that chute almost behind you and get that snow onto a snowbank as you make your pass by and not launch it into the street. And next to that chute is a high-powered LED headlight that isn't blocked by the chute for better visibility. Now let's pop the hood. Pop off this cover, and for a 24-inch snowblower, there is a lot going on under here. I mean, look at all that. So let's start from the back. This here is your drive belt, and this is your auger belt, and these are far wider than most belts on most snowblowers. This gives these belts a lot more grip. Plus, you got a really large pulley for some extra cranking power. And up here, these are all the mechanisms necessary to turn that chute. Pretty cool to see. You also get a pretty good look at the 13-inch impeller housing here in the back. And when you pull down on the auger control lever, everything gets nice and tight. And right behind that is the main reason that you buy a Honda snowblower in the first place. This is the commercial grade Honda GX 200 engine, 196 cc's and roughly 9.1 foot-pounds of torque. This is an engine designed to last for many years with a 0.82 gallon gas tank up top. It's always smart to run these gals on ethanol-free or stabilized fuel. You have decent access to your carburetor up under here, and there's a fuel shutoff valve below. Sitting right underneath that engine is an infinitely variable hydrostatic transmission. Pick the right speed for you and your snow conditions with an easy single lever control. Just move the lever forward or backward to go in just about any speed that you want. This makes snow clearing effortless without a need to constantly have to let go, shift gears, re-engage. You don't have to do that anymore when you get a hydrostatic transmission like this. Plus, it's virtually maintenance free. Now, getting this gal around town is this Honda Track Drive system. This provides exceptional traction in most snow conditions. They're pliable and grippy, and they measure approximately 5 inches wide by approximately 21 inches long. These help give you precision control on steep inclines, uneven ground, and even ice. And if you've got a gravel driveway, these are perfect. These tracks dig in like a fork on Thanksgiving. Another cool feature with this track drive system is the auger height control. You can just leave it like this if you want. This allows you to tip the bucket up or down, all thanks to this pneumatic gas strut on the back. So you can point it all the way up to hit a high snowbank, or tip it all the way down, and even then some, to hit some hard packed snow. This makes this snowblower incredibly versatile. Now, making our way up the tubular handlebars to the dash, there's a lot going on up here. Let's break it down. Over here to the left, we have our track drive control. This gets our tracks at the bottom spinning. Next to that is your throttle control, which has a pretty good range. Dead center here is your hydrostatic transmission drive lever, allowing you to go forward and reverse. Next over is your electronic chute control, allowing you to turn the chute left or right with a simple flick of a switch, and it doesn't take much. I mean, I can do this with one finger, and then you can also tip it back and forward to move your deflector up or down. And over here to the far right is your auger control lever. Now, this is a locking drive system, so if I push down on my drive lever, I can then push down on my auger lever. This locks both of these handle controls, and if I have to stop for some reason, I can just let go and they both come up. This is excellent if you have a long driveway or long sidewalk. This allows you to free up this hand so that way you can adjust your hydrostatic transmission, your throttle, or even your chute here. Over here, back on the left side, you can put your thumb here on this lever. This is your auger height control, allowing you to tip the snowblower all the way up and all the way down. Just to the right of that is your choke, and when you have to start the snowblower, you're gonna pull it all the way out. And as the snowblower gets going, you can push it back in. And then from here is your engine on-off switch key. Now, below your handles are your track drive triggers. These allow you to turn the snowblower left or right by pulling up on each lever. And this snowblower, as it is right now, is locked in its position. It will not go anywhere unless I pull up on these triggers here underneath my handles, and I can then move it forward and back, and I can also pivot it from side to side. Once I let go of the handles, the unit will not move. Now, as far as warranties go on this Honda, this unit comes with a 3-year residential warranty as well as a 1-year commercial warranty. But you can bump that warranty up to 6 years by purchasing an additional protection package. Those are all the details on this Honda HSS724A AT. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go fire it up.
No snow to test with?
Nope, not yet. But snow is in the forecast, but it ain't here yet. So in the meantime, let's get it fired up and rip it up and down the driveway. Pretty easy to start these up. We're first gonna make sure that our fuel shutoff valve is switched to on. We're then gonna take our throttle, push it all the way up, then take our choke, pull this all the way out, take our engine switch and turn it to on. There we go, and choke goes back in. She's up and running. Is it weird that I can feel my driveway vibrating with this thing running? Now, I'm about 10 feet away from that snowblower right now, and I'm really surprised at the volume level of that engine running. It's not that loud. All right, let's get those saw blades spinning. There we go. That is one mean set of augers up there. All right, let's play with some of the controls here. Here's your throttle. You can see it's got a pretty wide range. And we'll rev it back up. And then from here, this is your chute control. We're gonna turn it to the left, turn it to the right, and then I'm gonna push it down to get that deflector down, and then bring it all the way back up. Now, what I wanna do here is send it up and down the driveway, show you some variations in speed. I got the drive control down, the auger lever staying down. I'm gonna give it just a little bit of gas with that hydrostatic transmission. This is about as slow as you can go right here. A nice working speed, just creeping along. This is great if you got deep snow. It'll eat right through it. Perfect. And then from here, I can just grab that drive lever, inch it back. Nice slow reverse speed too. Excellent. And I can throttle it back even faster with just a pull of the lever. Now let's get it going just a little bit quicker. For those familiar with gear shifting on here, this is probably like a 2 or a 3 on a normal snowblower, and then we'll pull it on back. This is full throttle in reverse. Cool. Now, full speed, this is gonna be a transport speed. Full speed, holy cow. That baby jumps. And then we'll just mosey on back. Excellent. Now I'm going to do some turns in the driveway to show you the turning radius with these tracks. We're going to get this thing up to speed here. And again, all I got to do is pull up on these triggers and we'll turn it right around. So I'm going to pull up on that left trigger, turn it right around, and you can see I'm within a few feet of that line down the center of my driveway. Spin it back around. Not too much effort, just takes a little bit of getting used to. Not bad for a 24-inch snowblower. Now let's say I got to get in and out of the street like most of us do. Man, is it windy. Now let's say I got to get in and out of the street like most of us do. Well, I'm just going to show you how fast tracks can do it. From here, forward speed. I'm going to grab up on that trigger, spin it around. Boom, a nice tight turn. And I'm back up the driveway. Now from here, this is where this snowblower totally dominates. If the plows come by, pile up the snow for you, you can tip the snowblower back, attack the pile nice and high at a good speed. From here, back it off. This is where you get super efficient. You're not switching gears like on an old snowblower. And then you're gonna tip it down. And from here, you can just start going at it again, hitting the pile a little lower, bring it on back. Effortless snow clearing right there. Now let's power it down. From here, we're gonna bring the throttle down and then turn the key. Great. Restarts are pretty simple. We're gonna push our throttle all the way back up, turn our key back to on, and give it a pull. I'm really not pulling hard on that pull rope either. We're gonna ease it back off and turn the key. All right, so I am piling up all the snow in my driveway. We're gonna give this Honda a test. We only got about 2 inches. It's kind of wet at the bottom. We'll see how it does. Time for this Honda to eat. That's the heavy stuff. Pumping it right through the tree. It's freaking branches off. That's pretty far. Wow. Send it, baby. Get it out of here. Awesome. Tell you what, we're gonna take one more bite here. Let's see what she'll do. Send it, baby. Get it out of here. Just sucking it all right up. Nice. Look at all these branches it knocked down. All right, I got the camera set up at the end of my driveway, or the edge of my driveway. Let's see how far it threw. That's 40. That's about 40 feet right there at my boot mark. And then our lonely bullet out here. And that measures up to about 47.5 feet. So they say the snowblower can throw 49 feet. Well, looks like it probably can. Not bad, Honda. Now here's what I like on this Honda HSS724A AT. It's the perfect mix of versatility and dependability, and it can go just about anywhere, clear snow with ease, even though it's on the smaller side of the Honda lineup. And with its commercial grade engine, it delivers reliable power for many, many years. These Honda engines are darn near impossible to kill. They're practically immortal. It starts up easy, they're relatively easy to maintain, the oil change spout is right on the side, and it's best to change the oil on these at least once a season. Next, the tracks and the hydrostatic transmission. These give you some awesome traction on some steep slopes and icy driveways. And if you have lots of steep slopes to clear out, these are a huge advantage. Next up, we have a 23.8-inch auger housing up front connected to a 13-inch impeller housing in the back. That's gonna be roughly a 55% auger to impeller ratio, which is quite high. In my experience, the higher that number is, the more efficient the snowblower is at clearing out snow. This unit can gulp it up like spaghetti and toss it out like a pizza chef. Now let's get a closer look at this front end. These have to be the sharpest auger teeth I've ever seen on a 24-inch snowblower. And all these teeth are pointed inward just a little bit. This is gonna help pull in more snow into that impeller housing in the back. And if we look extra close inside at that impeller housing, there's this little wall or ridge that helps contain the snow in that impeller housing so the impeller paddles can catch it and throw it out. And speaking of those impeller paddles, they have a 90-degree wall to each of them, which helps catch more of the snow and keeps that snow moving out of that impeller housing. Pretty cool. Now here's what grinds my gears with this Honda. First up, this is a pull start engine only. No electric start? Nope, not even a side plug-in at this price point. But you can step up to a battery electric start version for an extra cost, which leads me to the next thing. If you decide to go with the battery electric start version of this snowblower, you're going to want to have a power outlet nearby somewhere in your garage, because you're going to have that snowblower hooked up from time to time to a battery tender. You got to give it some juice when it's not in use. Next up, turning these tank tracks takes some getting used to. They do offer a tired version of this snowblower if you're looking for something more nimble, but this snowblower does lose just a few maneuverability points. It's the price that you pay for increased traction, which leads me to another point.
Now here's one thing that definitely grinds my gears. Watch this. I'm going to put the bucket all the way down. From here, I'm going to engage my augers, and I'm going to drive this thing forward in the slowest possible speed. Watch this. You see how it bounces like that? That is because of the skids on the back. They create a lot of surface area because they're wider. And what ends up happening is on my finished driveway, this is a finished concrete driveway, it creates all this added grip on the front end of the bucket. And then you have all this grip going on here with the tracks, so you get this fight going on between the front end of the bucket and the tracks. And that gives you all this bounce. So how do we get around this? Well, you can lift the bucket up about a ½ inch, just like so, and then from there, it won't bounce anymore. It'll go nice and smooth. Same thing in reverse. It'll go nice and smooth if the bucket is up just a little bit. Problem is, you're not getting down to the ground like you should. So what does Honda do about this? Well, you can get their plastic skids, put them on the front, and this is recommended by Honda if you have a finished concrete driveway to put those on, and it'll give you a much smoother ride without all that added bounce.
Next, when the unit is off, the chute cannot be moved. The chute also turns very slowly. So if I make a pass and I turn the unit around and the wind is strong and I'm getting pelted with snow in the face and I have to turn that chute the other direction, it's gonna be a little bit before it comes around and I stop getting blasted. That's why I prefer the old style cranks, because I can just whip it around as fast as I can. Looks like these electronic chutes are a gift and a curse. Plus, I'd like to see this plastic dash made of metal. It would only add to this unit's overall durability. Now these snowblowers cost an arm and a leg, and clearly Honda doesn't care about your extremities because no heated hand grips. At this price point, Honda, are you kidding me? Honda, so many people complain about that. So is this Honda HSS724A worth it for the average homeowner? Well, if you have heavy snowfalls, a steep driveway, or want a snowblower that will last for decades, the HSS724A is a phenomenal investment. They hold some of the strongest resale values in the entire snowblower market. But if you have a smaller property, mild winters, or you're shopping on a tight budget, this might be more machine than you actually need. Huge thank you to Hamburg Honda for allowing me to review this snowblower. I'll have their contact information linked down below. And if you're in the Buffalo area and you're looking to pick up a Honda snowblower or any other Honda related gear, be sure to stop in and tell them JB sent you. And for a look at this snowblower's bigger, meaner sister, the HSS928AAT D model, I'll have that video linked down below in the description. And remember, if you want to make your new snowblower last a lifetime, be sure to check out my full snowblower rust proofing course linked below. If you want to be part of the tribe, subscribe, and for more cool garage gear content, click or tap the screen right here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the garage.